Today we're going to be looking at solving algebraic equations. These are all one-step equations. The learning goal is I can solve algebraic equations. Start with some jokes. There's two dinosaurs and there's a boat filled with animals, and it says, "Oh crap, was that today?" There's two scientists working on a missile, and he's got a brown paper bag and he's going to smack it when he hits the nail, thinking that the missile exploded. It's time for our daily review. For number 1, create an equation. What number can you add to 38 to get 49? To get is another way of saying total. I encourage you to pause the video and try this on your own. So get is equal 49. What number, so we'll say n, and then add, if we look at our math in the words paper here, add means addition. And there we go. So we're looking just to create an equation here. Number 2. Determine whether the following is the solution for 7s plus 4s equals 55, where s is 11. Yes or no? So I can put 11 in for s and see if that equals 55. Parentheses means multiply, so 7 times 11 is 77. 4 times 11 is 44. 77 plus 44 is equal to 121. 121 does not equal 55. Last question. 3 to the 4th divided by 3 squared. I'll begin by writing this out in standard form, doing the same thing to the bottom. Now I'll cancel out where I have matching on the top and the bottom. Now I'm left with 3 times 3, which is equal to 9. That's going to be it for our daily review. Let's review some vocabulary before we start. An equation is a mathematical statement that says two expressions are equal. A solution of an equation is the value of a variable that makes the equation true. Important parts of an equation. Operators are like add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Constants are single numbers without letters. Variables are the letters. And a coefficient is the number in front of the letter. Inverse operation, the opposite operation that undoes another operation. So if we had multiply, what's the opposite of multiply? Division. What's the opposite of addition? Subtraction. What's the opposite of subtraction? Addition. What's the opposite of squaring a number? Rooting a number. What's the opposite of dividing? Multiplication. These are all operations that help cancel out operations. Let's do some practice now where we solve equations. Remember, an equation says two things are equal. The left side is the right side. Now, I understand you may be able to figure out what A is in your head, but we have to solve it using inverse operations. So here we have our constant, and here we have our coefficient. Inverse operations, remember, are the opposite operations. Do you know what operation this is? This operation means to multiply. So to undo it, we have to divide. In algebra, we show a line meaning divide. So I'm going to divide by the number next to my letter, which is 9. Important thing to remember about equations is that whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. Divide by 9 on the left side, I'll divide by 9 on the right side. Now I can cancel out my 9's. And 54 divided by 9 is equal to 6. You can check your answer by plugging in the number into your letter. Number 2. Try this one on your own. What's different about this question than number 1? Yeah, it's flipped. What operation is happening with 6D? It's multiplication, so we have to divide. Divide the right by 6. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now we divide 18 by 6 to get 3. So 3 is equal to D. You can check your answer by putting in 3 for D. 6 times 3 is 18. Number 3. This is x over 5 is equal to 10. Do you remember what operation this was here? Okay, when we drew that line? It's division. So how do we undo it? By multiplying. We're going to multiply both sides by 5. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you do to the other. The 5's cancel out, and we're left with x equals 10 times 5, which is 50. Number 4. Try this one on your own. What operation do we need to do to undo it? If we're dividing, we need to multiply it. Multiply by 2 on the right side. Multiply by 2 on the left side. We're left with r is equal to 2 times 15, which is 30. Number 6. A plus 15 equals 26. What operation is this? If I look over here at my little cheat sheet, it's addition. And the opposite of addition is subtraction. So I know I need to subtract. So I'll write a minus 15 underneath. Whenever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. The 15's cancel out, they make 0. I get 11 on the right side. There's nothing left on the left side. So A equals 11. You can plug in 11 to figure out what A is. Number 7. Try this one on your own. E minus 8 equals 31. So I have a minus, so the opposite operation is going to be addition. So I do plus 8 on the left side, plus 8 on the right side. 31 plus 8 is 39. A wildlife reserve has 8 elephant calves born during the summer and now has 31 total elephants. How many elephants were born in the reserve before the summer began? Write an equation and solve to answer each question. So we'll start off with 8 elephants. And then it says, and now has a total of 31. And means addition. And total means equal. So what we're missing here is the amount of elephants from here to here. So we'll put in an x for the blank there. So now we'll use inverse operations to figure out what x is. Even though there's no sign in front of this 8 from the right side. And 31 minus 8 is 23. So x equals 23. How many elephants were in the reserve before the summer began? 23 elephants. My sister is 14 years old. My brother says that his age minus 12 is equal to my sister's age. How old is my brother? We know that is means equals. So we're going to start off this time with 14. His brother's age, which is our unknown, minus 12. Now we'll use inverse operations to figure out what x is. If we're minusing, then we have to add. So we'll add 12 to the right side, then add 12 to the left side. We get 26 is equal to x. So how old is my brother? 26. Carmen participated in a readathon. Mr. Cole pledged $4 per book and gave Carmen $44. How many books did Carmen read? We want to write an equation and solve for each of the following. $4 per book. So that means we're going to have to divide. Okay, but we're setting up our equation, so we need to write it in a multiplication problem. Gives 44, so we know that it's equal to 44. Okay, now we can go ahead and divide. The opposite of multiplication, as we said, is division. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. And x is equal to 11. So how many books did Carmen read? She read 11. Jorge baked cookies for his math class's end of the year party. There are 28 people in Jorge's class, including Jorge and his teacher. Jorge baked enough cookies for everyone to get 3 cookies each. How many cookies did Jorge bake? So 28 people in Jorge's class, including Jorge and his teacher. Jorge baked 3 cookies each. So we know our total is going to have to equal to 3. Okay. Now we have 28 people in his class, but we're looking for how many cookies he actually baked. So that'll be our C over 28. Now to undo this, we're going to have to multiply times 28. 3 times 28 is equal to 84. So the number of cookies that he baked is equal to 84.